What is that one?
The fuck is a Patia berry nectar?
It's Patia.
What is that?
Oh, tastes good.
I'll try one.
Have you ever had any of these things?
No.
So they're better.
Cheers.
Cheers. They're, I don't know. It's better than drinking a bunch of pop.
Oh, that's not bad at all, actually.
It's not bad. It is one of the only, I guess, low-calorie drinks that I can actually stand.
Well, just remember, this podcast is being brought to you by Bubbler. Come and check it out.
Bubbler. Yeah, my daughter. So Addison actually has like sunglasses, shirt, and all this other shit with Bubbler.
Yeah.
So we were gonna do a photo shoot. So I actually put the shirt on. Like her lock screen, I don't know if it's on her phone or iPad or something, is me with the sunglasses on.
Oh, it is?
Tight ass Bubbler shirt, and I'm like, chicking it up, right? So yeah, that is my daughter. I think I got everything going. The only thing that sucks is that we got the furnace running in the house, so then that drives me crazy on the audio.
Oh, you can hear the shh.
There's always some sort of sound. There's a clicking noise. There's something. So I'm just making sure everything stays running because technical difficulties tend to plague me because I do this like haphazardly.
It's all right.
So and just make sure
Kind of like being a musician, really.
right.
I mean.
Keep the microphone close to your face. So bring it down low so people can actually see your pretty mug.
Right here?
Right there.
Is that all right?
Yep. And then there's your camera right there.
Hey.
And here's my camera. Oh, I got to make one adjustment to this. I'm a little high. There we go. Should be good. So the cool thing is that now I don't have to reset that camera. So because I broke my good camera and then Nikon sent me that one to use for now. The other cameras have a 30-minute timer.
Yeah.
These ones all run for 2 hours.
So they sent you one just to use for now?
Well, so I got to try a couple lenses for a week.
Okay.
And it's just part of the program that I'm in for the NPS, which is Nikon Professional Services.
Gotcha.
So, which used to be, the club, right? And when I first started being a photographer, you had to submit basically a body of work to be approved to be a Nikon professional. And so it took a couple years till I had a good enough body of work to be able to achieve that. And then it was free. So like you got discount on repairs.
So it's like a club.
Yeah, it's
Martin Owners Group has the same thing.
right.
Yeah.
Well, now there is a level of free, which is nothing. And then there's other levels, and I'm a platinum, so I'm the highest end.
Yep.
And you have to own a certain amount of Nikon equipment, certain type of Nikon equipment, plus with your body of work to get approved for all of this stuff. But they still make you pay.
Right.
So, but that also gives me access to camera bodies and lenses when my stuff's getting repaired. So they put out a thing last month. They have some new lenses. So I wanted to try the lenses, and they were pairing it with the Z9, which is the camera that I just bought.
Yep.
And so I was able to get that for a week. So I get the lenses and the camera for a week. So it's got to go back on Wednesday. But
that's cool that they do. It's like
well,
an elite club.
as soon as it goes back, then I'm submitting for another Z9 because I need one until I don't need one, but I want one back until my other one gets repaired, and then at the end of the season. So after December 31st, I'm sending all my cameras in.
Yep.
Like I'll keep one here, and I'm gonna send everything in a Nikon, except for the Z30s, the little ones, because I just got those. But I'm gonna send them all in for cleaning, because I get no cost cleaning. Inspections, all of that other stuff. So they'll go through them.
How long will that take?
It should only take them a week.
Oh,
unless they find something.
terrible.
Unless they find something
months.
that's broken. No, it should only take them a week. So it'll cost me the shipping there and back. But it'll be kind of nerve wracking dumping that much equipment into.
Right.
And I have 2 lenses that need to send into another company.
That's kind of hard. But that brings another thing like insurance. I mean. I'm on the road. What happens if my guitar gets stepped on or something like that?
Is it insured?
No, I need to get it done.
You need to get it insured.
Yeah, I know.
So, well, that's just going to be a sampling of what we talk about, but we'll jump right back into that. But hey, today I am sitting down here with the legendary Scott Kirkhart.
Oh, jeez, thanks.
So, we actually just went and did a thing for Broken Strings together real quick. I guess a little bit ago, it was a couple hours ago. But so I've got Scott Kirkhart on the show today, and I appreciate having him here. With that said, I am Tim. This is
Scott.
And I welcome everybody to Expose today. So we actually got together earlier today. So we met in Cedar Rapids at 11:30. Scott had a Broken Strings guitar giveaway. And Scott, could you kind of tell us a little bit about Broken Strings and what you guys do?
Yeah, we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and our main objective is to raise money to give kids guitars. With our main goal being there's 367 school districts in the state of Iowa. We want to give away 367 guitars to one kid per school district. So
cool. Well, we actually got together because you've been working on this for 2 years.
Yeah, yep.
2 years, and we had not had the opportunity to film an actual giveaway.
No.
So that's why, like, when I found out he was coming today to Cedar Rapids, I was like, hey,
yep.
Hey, hello, let's get together. And so we filmed that. I mic'd him up, so we've got all kinds of dirt to use on him from everything he said in that recording. But so no, we went and did that. I got to edit the photos and stuff for that. We'll put it up on the Broken Strings website and up on your Facebook social media pages. But yeah, it's been really cool to watch the progression of everything.
Yeah, it's been slow. That's when I first thought of it. It's kind of no problem. It'll be done in no time flat, right? Yeah, that's a lot more entailed than what I thought it was going to be. But
well, I think the fact that you're a full nonprofit makes a big difference.
Yeah, it took a long time to get that 501c3, nonprofit or charitable organization status. But once we got it, you got to raise money first. You can't just do it off the bat. So, and now the guitar giving starting. But we still need a lot more funding to keep this program going. So
right. Yeah, it's been a really cool thing. And I would assume that since you are now, as of May or June
1st
this year, you were a full-time musician. That has to help a little bit, be able to coordinate everything else.
Yes,
that goes into it.
I can actually have time. It frees me up. I'm not in a FedEx truck driving around, so it frees me up time to give away guitars, time to email these schools and get names.
Right.
So
yeah, because I know that's got to be the hardest part is the coordination between you guys and then the music programs and the schools.
It is. It's difficult, and sometimes the schools are like, well, you don't know who. I'm like, you got to decide. Please help me. Right. I want to give these guitars away. So, when I reach out to a band or a choir director, if they have 2 or 3 to pick from, then we'll figure out how to get it narrowed down to one.
Right.
Whether essay or something like that, and then we'll go give it to them. But it's hard, and sometimes we're small enough where not enough people know about us yet.
Right.
And I suppose we probably just get blown off a little bit too, and but it's finally starting to pick up.
Yeah.
As we are distributing these guitars.
I think it helps when you have somebody that knows somebody at the school.
Yes.
Because I know that was the one thing that we talked about is that there's communication problems.
Yeah.
Whether it's between the just the people in the school. And I think part of that is that everybody gets spammed so much
I'm sure
in their emails that it's hard to know what's bullshit and what's not.
Yeah.
And so that probably, somebody gets an email, they're like, somebody wants to give away a guitar, that doesn't sound legit.
Yeah, right.
Who does that, right? So, and I know, like with today, like Jill Barr,
yep.
She helped facilitate this one. So it was nice because you had somebody that knew somebody, right? So it makes it a little bit more legit,
right?
Rather than going into a school where you don't know anybody in the program, or you don't have friends that know anybody in the program, and then they're like, oh, well, I don't know who you are. I'm not interested.
Correct. And, when we do give these away, whether we go to the classroom or not, or, like we went to the Spencer and did one there and gave one there, but they let us come to their band concert at night, and we gave it away in front of all the people, that was cool.
That was cool.
That was really, really neat. But then there was, like today where it was just the teacher and the students,
right.
Which is, let's get these superintendents and principals and stuff involved in it.
Well, I know because this was the first time because I've been involved with your organization. We've done, we've done photo shoots. We've done, we've helped set up the website. We've done all of that stuff. And so the conversation Melanie and I had when we left was like, well, why wasn't the principal there, and why wasn't the superintendent there?
Right.
Like, and so I don't know if it's internal communications, so because there's so much of that, and and maybe I'm speaking out of line, but maybe there's something that you can put together that when you do, okay, so you finally gotten in touch with the music person.
Yep.
You say, okay, this is what typically how we like to see it. We like to see any administration that is in the building involved, and then both band and or choir together, because I know that was one of the things that we had today, that there were some miscommunications on things,
right?
And I think that's just a lot in today's society. There's just a lot of miscommunication. So,
and I'm not asking for an assembly either. I mean,
no. Just like the I was just thinking it would have been cool if the superintendent and the principal and the band teacher were there.
Yeah, and all involved.
Yeah,
that would be great.
So,
and maybe it will. I mean, we're still young. I mean, this is very young yet, and maybe it will keep getting bigger. I hope it does. I hope keep it getting bigger and grow, and maybe we will do assemblies at that point. Maybe I'll bring a couple musicians along. We'll play them a couple songs.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. It's just going to take some time, and I'm trying to do this right, and I'm not a business person whatsoever. Right? I was a FedEx guy for 20 years. I drove around and delivered Walmart crap, which that's another story.
That's another story.
But so I don't know what I'm doing either. So I'm learning as I'm going too, and that's kind of what the adventure I think of it is as well. Right. So it's coming along.
Yeah. No, it's been really cool, and I was just happy that we were actually able to make it work today.
Yeah,
especially because it snowed. So then, like what is his name from Emmitsburg?
Shannon.
Yeah, Shannon was going to come down, but the roads were crap.
Yeah, she sent me a picture. He's like, I'm not. And his daughter got in an accident this morning with his pickup, and he's like, I'm not going to be able to make it, man. It's terrible. And he sent me a picture. I'm like, holy cow, it's not doing anything here, you know.
It just worked out well that Melanie and I were able to come. Plus, it's our home school,
right?
So, and that was kind of the best.
And we didn't get to see Addison though.
I know she's mad.
Yeah, she's disappointed.
She's mad. You left 13 minutes before I went to lunch.
Sorry.
So we had to come home and make hamburgers.
And they were good too.
They were good. I hope your school lunch was good. But well, tell me. So since June, you've gone full time. Into music. So you're doing a ton of solo shows, and then you've also put together the band Kirkhart.
Yep.
And so are you kind of branding that all together?
Trying to.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I'm trying to. Whether you want a solo show or a full band show, and even with Jesse Wilson, now, so him and I kind of decided that we're going to do let's go out and do some dual shows together, and we'll book dual shows together because we got a new song coming out here soon.
Yep.
And people just kind of love that vibe that we kind of put off together, and we work well together. I mean, he's a great friend of mine, and it's just we just feed off of each other, which is cool.
It'd be nice if the artwork was done for that album.
It would be nice if the artwork was done for that album.
That was the conversation Saturday at the gala. So so they just had the gala in Newell on Saturday. The Northwest Iowa Law Enforcement. What was it? Scholarship gala.
Yep.
And I'd forgotten that when I announced it, because it was funny, because I went up there with Jesse and he goes, all right, remind me exactly what all this is again, like the name.
Right.
And I read it off to him, and he just kind of looked at me and he goes, say that again. I go, do you want me to announce this?
Yeah, you did. You jumped right up there.
Yeah, I did. I'm like, I'm not scared to get in front of people.
Right.
Right. And so, and as it's coming out of my mouth, I know that I'm going to screw up the scholarship part. So I just eliminated it, because I was going to say, my brain's like, it had already told me, he's like, we're going to screw this up if you say this. So I just didn't, and it was funny because after I announced Jesse and he started playing, I jumped down, and Justin Lyman, who organized the whole thing, he comes up, he's like, thank you.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Justin wanted to go up and say anything.
No, I don't think so.
Because when Jason and I had done the photos, with Justin for the event, and then I had done some video stuff, and Justin was like, okay, like, you could use a better model. I'm like, no, you're great. And he's like, oh, but, and he just, so he doesn't want the attention on him, which is okay. I mean, I get being humble a little bit.
But he's the face of it. So,
He's the face of it.
You're going to get there. But, hats off to him because he's doing this, there's not many people that just take the lead and go do something like that.
Well, and so, because I've had a few people, they're like, well, what was it for? And I said, well, they raise money to send officers that want to go to, like, it's the police academy.
Police academy, yep.
So, and most people just think that, I guess, the municipalities or whatever pay for it. And it was one of those things that I didn't even know, and it had never crossed my mind on anything. And then I was like, huh. So I'm like, it's a good thing, right? So that's why, Jason, this was his second year photographing, so he did photographs. And I was like, well, shoot, I might as well jump in and do a little bit of video work. And I recorded some stuff, and it's just to put together a 1 minute, little highlight film to help promote and raise awareness for, well, what I'm assuming is going to be the 3rd annual next year.
Yeah.
So we're just hoping that we can make it bigger and bigger and outgrow.
Well, and he's starting too. So this is the second one, and he coming out of COVID for his first one on top of it. So I what was there, probably 150.
There was 150 people there.
Yeah, at least.
It was a good turnout, and they were enjoying it. Everybody was having a good time.
Oh, they had a good time.
They had a good time.
But like I told them, I was like, hey, you're going to keep building this up. You might have to look for another place to have the whole event.
Isn't that always the idea? Is to outgrow where you're at,
especially with something like that.
Right, and that's kind of what you're trying to do. I mean, is to grow the band, grow the individual shows. I mean, you have been.
It's a brand, so now I have to put out. I'm to that point now where I have a brand that I have to put, out myself, whether I'm with another artist, whether I'm doing a band,
right?
That I have to keep building that brand,
right?
And so that's the hard part, and it's
right.
It is.
It is.
Yes, I have to have a good product out there, but building that brand and having a brand and making that people go, oh yeah, well, this is going to be a good show, or this is going to be a great, yes, and that's where you make the money on top of that too. So it is. It's been pleasurable. Man, I've had so much fun this summer. This summer was the most amazing summer I've had in 20 years. I mean, it was just, I've been Madison, Wisconsin to South Dakota. Next week, we're going to Lake of the Ozarks for 2 days. I was in Nashville, Tennessee. I got to play on Broadway. Yeah. I mean, to me, that's a dream come true for a musician standpoint.
Right.
For me, because I remember going there as a little kid and watching these musicians and thinking, oh man, how cool would it be to do this? And I was that guy doing it. So,
yeah. And it was, and I know, cause you guys went, it was what, October 15th?
Yeah.
So you, Jesse and Bree, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, because I remember because Jesse was like, dude, you should come. And I was like, well, we're in October yet.
Right.
Tim's season is not quite over yet. And it's really fun to watch you both of you guys, because you're both clients.
Yeah.
And I've worked with both of you for photos and videos and stuff. And it's really, really cool to watch both of your careers elevate to what they are. And it's because it's funny because you both are different in how you do your music.
Yep.
But then you play so well together as well.
Yeah, we do.
So, which is the cool part.
Most of the musicians around the Fort Dodge area all played well and work well together, which is, it's kind of neat because it's like a family that you kind of get into. And then you get, like Jesse and I work good, or even Ober when we play together. Many times I've done stuff with Ober, and Clint Riedel wants to kind of get into that too. And I was like, yeah, anytime you want to, let's do it. And then you go down there in a national scene like that, where we were in Nashville, and the country musicians are still the same way as they are up here. They're like, like we met Chili Dog, and he's like, Michael Castleberry's his name. Big shout out to you, buddy. And he took us in. He's a circuit musician that plays all over on Broadway on Main Street. He goes from one bar to bar, and everybody knows him. And he was so fun to just be around, and he was humble and he's happy, and it was just, and when we were getting ready to leave and come back, which was kind of sad, I was like, man, now we got to come back. And he's like, man, I really had a good time with you guys, and I want to come up to Iowa. So he's going to come up to Iowa, and we're going to play like 7 nights in a row. And,
nice.
and sometime this winter, we're hoping so. And it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
So how many different places did you guys play in Nashville?
3 or 4. I mean, we were down there for 5 days. So it was, We played every day. Huh?
Right. It's a
we were
work
there.
trip.
Yeah. It's completely a work trip. The pace of life is so fast.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because it's like you get up at 10:30 in the morning because you were out till 4 o'clock in the morning because you were playing till 3, and then next thing you know, you got another gig at 11 o'clock. Hey, okay, we're going.
Yep.
Man, that's every day to those guys down there. It's cool.
Yeah.
But I was ready to relax a little bit.
It's a little Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Life moves pretty fast.
Yes.
You don't stop looking around once in a while.
It does.
You can miss it. Yeah, and I've been, I guess I haven't been in Nashville for 2 years. Well, I take that back. We were there in May for about 45 minutes.
Right, yeah, you weren't there very
we cruised up and down Broadway on our way through, but and it was we were there so January 2020, so right before COVID, took over the entire world.
Yep.
And so I actually liked Broadway in January because it's cold and there's less people.
Sure.
And I'm not a big crowd person all of the time. But it's really cool, to go to the different honky tonks, and we didn't really stray off Broadway much,
right?
But it was just fun to go in and see the different ones. And I think when we were there was when Ross Ellis was at Margaritaville. There was something. It was something on the XM Highway.
XM the Highway, or
he got. What did he get? He got signed by Sony.
Oh, was that when he got signed?
Wasn't that it? Yeah, because you called me and you were like,
that's right.
You were like, where are you?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right.
And how far from Margaritaville are you?
Was that 2 years ago already?
That was 2 years ago.
Jeez.
And dude, it'll be 3 years next month. 3 fucking years.
Isn't that crazy?
COVID cost the world 2 years.
Oh, yeah, you kind of feel like you just skipped a year. I mean,
there's a full year that's missing.
It's weird.
20 into 21 was just a mess.
I mean, we had fun.
Yeah,
because we were still having fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, we were live.
Those live streams were
music.
Blast. I wish we could still do those once in a while. Is people going to watch though, like they did back then?
Well, I think the one thing that COVID did was move people to more of watching stuff on their phones and on their TVs through their phones.
People would have parties though when we were doing that, and we'd get Snapchats from people at this house over here. And they got a whole group of people watching it on the big screen TV. Yeah.
Because we were cool. We were in we were in Lakeview.
Yeah.
Or Wall Lake.
Lakeview.
We were in Lakeview.
And Shoreside in Manson, we did one.
Yep, we did the one in Manson. Lakeview at Schleps.
Yep, Schleps.
Chad and Gina.
Yep.
So their house is for sale.
Yeah, it is.
That's it. I laughed because I had commented. Somebody had shared the post of it, and I'd commented on it. I'm like, that garage is awesome. She's like, I know. And I'm like, I've spent some time there.
Yeah.
I laughed because when we went to film there, and live stream that, Chad made sure that the internet was fast enough to make sure that everything was perfect. He did.
He called Corn Belt Telephone, I think.
He made sure that it was
the
good.
internet.
Yeah, that was good, and that was good times. I learned a lot about live streaming stuff, and I've screwed up a lot since then.
That was fun though when we did those.
Yeah,
and the hospitality that we had from everybody that we did one that was phenomenal. Yeah. All you could eat, all you could drink, and it was just a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty. God, that'll be 3
That was
years.
A weird time, though. I mean, if you think about it, imagine what Broadway looked like in the middle of COVID, where nothing's going on, everything's just closed.
Yeah,
crazy. Or Vegas or anything like that.
Right.
I can.
Well, and Vegas still has some weird stuff because we were looking at doing this is a WPPI, which is a wedding professional portrait photographer thing, and it's in March, and so they were doing their early bird bookings because it's $200 or $300 a person to go, and so I was going to pay for myself, Melanie, and Jason as a company to go and go visit that, and dude, they still had like mask requirements on their page, and I was like, I'm not.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, I'm like, and I questioned. I was like, are you requiring masks? Like you don't got to wear a mask on a plane, but if you're going to require a mask, and everybody's kind of over it at this point. Well, there's some that aren't, and like if those that want to wear masks, go for it. I don't care.
Did you see that TikTok I posted the other day?
I haven't hardly been on anything.
It's this older guy. I don't know how old he was, 80s, 90s. And he's in a car tapping a beer. And then he says, let's get on with our life. I'm tired of this COVID bullshit. It was hilarious.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, we've definitely learned a whole lot about everybody.
Yeah.
Over the last few years. But the one thing that I really learned is that we are surrounded by a whole bunch of good people.
Yeah, we are.
In this area. We're blessed. I mean, there's been a lot of people that have supported what you do and what I do, and just to get us through. Yeah, because I mean, it was weird because the whole world shut down for 4 months.
Yeah.
And we all looked at each other and went, well, this might get interesting.
What are we going to do?
Right.
And I sat at home on the weekends and I'm like, I did it for about 2 weeks, right? And I'm like,
and we all did it for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Then I'm like, okay,
like,
this is no go, and which is fine, but the problem was the bars kick you out at 2:00 in the morning. And somebody's machine shed don't.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of late nights, early mornings.
Yeah. But it's been crazy to watch both of our businesses kind of after that period explode. Yeah. Because, I think people appreciated a lot of things more after.
Agreed. Well, the music this last summer, and it was not just me. Everybody was busy. And I mean, they're booked out 3, 4, 5, 6 months in advance just to keep this. And people are wanting to get out.
Right.
And tired of being cooped up and tired of it. And they're ready to party. And the music industry just boomed.
Right.
Which is phenomenal.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to do this full time if it didn't, I guess.
Right. There's kind of a renaissance in everything,
Yeah.
Kind of coming back. And that's one that we talked about earlier. I'm nervous for 2023, as a self-employed person.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, because 2022 was so good for everybody. And I've got plenty of bookings coming in, but I still look at them like, man, because
do I have enough?
Right? And that's, so there's always the tools.
You're kind of like me too, though. You're a workaholic and you want to be busy all the time.
Yeah.
And I do too, because I feel like if I'm not, Right. We still got to make time to have a vacation, right? Tammy deserves a vacation.
And a coffee.
And a coffee. That was phenomenal, by the way. Thank you. Cheers to that one.
So if y'all don't know, so I'm a coffee snob.
Snob.
So I have my own little espresso machine. It's not a super high dollar one, but it's good enough. And I get my coffee beans. They're called Killer Beans. I get them from a guy in Pennsylvania. His name's Jerry. And Jerry has the best beans on the planet. And it was funny because it was Melanie's like second or third cousin, and she's like, well, Eric's always got all these coffee beans. You should try it. And I'm like, they're like $19 a bag for like a pound. And I'm like, what the hell?
That ain't Folgers.
No, it's not Folgers. And now that's the only, I keep trying different coffee. And I go back to Jerry. Like I'll buy a bag, and I have another bag that somebody gave me, and it's for a charitable organization. And I was like, yeah, I'll try it, and I just can't bring myself to open it and try it because I just know I'm going to be disappointed.
Right.
And maybe I will be pleasantly surprised. So one of these days when there's no beans in the machine, maybe I'll put some in and try it. And
but when you do, it's like,
right.
I mean, for the last, I suppose, year, I buy better coffee, but I get a Keurig,
That's not real coffee.
I know, but it's quick and it's easy.
Like tea.
I need a grinder is what I need to do. I need to start grinding my beans.
So you end up starting. So I started small. So I had just a regular coffee pot, and then I went to a French press, and then I went to a pour over, and then I went to an AeroPress, which started getting me closer and closer to espresso.
Sure.
And then we started remodeling the kitchen. We were in Omaha, and we had to buy a fridge. So we bought a fridge, and fridges. That was June of 2020. Okay, so we're buying a refrigerator. Was that June of 2020? Maybe that was July. Maybe it was last year. Dude, I don't even remember. Dude, like I said, everything is blended together.
Don't know. Yeah.
I don't even. So anyway, so we bought a refrigerator, and if any, refrigerators are insanely priced anyway. Well, we had decided the one that she really liked had the touch screen and all that other crap. And I'm like, we don't need this. And she's like, but our schedule, because a lot of people have seen my Snapchats of my schedule.
Yeah.
And they're like,
I get it.
What in the hell? Because I'm like, look at every day of the month. There's dots all over it, right? And so we got that refrigerator because Melanie's like, I think we will see the benefits in this fridge. And we have. It's nice because it's basically it's a hub that her and I are connected with.
Yeah.
We're connected with each other's phones, but like that is just a visual place, so you just see it.
Is that one of those fridges that you can order stuff on?
Yeah. Oh. It's not hooked up. Oh. Dude, I can get on my phone right now and look what's in my fridge.
That's kind of cool, actually.
It's kind of weird. Like,
look at technology the way it's going anymore. Insane. Isn't that crazy?
I know. Just wait till it does your job and my job. Where all we do is
it already does. I mean, some of the music stuff that's coming out anymore, I'm like, I cannot believe, like, how could I hook? So I run in-ear monitors when I'm with the band. Yep. Then I just run everything on my phone. It's all Bluetooth or it's all synced in with the board. I'm hooked up to their internet and the board. And then I have full control of everything that I want to hear. To me, I was just like, really, Mark? That's pretty cool. And he says, this is nothing compared to what they're coming out with.
Well, yeah, because when I plugged in this thing the other night just to get some audio. And so I'm like, if this is too big of a problem, just let me know. He said, no, I just got to turn everything on, for it. Which, because I had another sound guy do that in Okoboji and he fucked it up.
Oh.
Like I got like one microphone and then like a bass guitar or something. It was stupid. Like I didn't get the full mix out. Really? So like I'm always like, okay, I'll turn it on and see what you fuck up today, right? But anyway, so where we were going with that. So we bought this refrigerator. We bought the extended warranty because nothing is built like it used to be.
Yep.
And so we bought the extended warranty because we have used them in the past. And I'm like, you know what, for what the price is. But anyway, so the refrigerator ended up being expensive. Twice as much as I had planned on spending.
Right.
And so we're in Nebraska Furniture Mart and we're walking by and there's an espresso machine. It's on sale. And Mel's like, you really wanted. And I'm like, you know what? If we're burning money today,
I'm getting one.
So we'll get the credit card back out. And I bought that. And I'm like, you know what?
Worth it.
I'm like, you know what else? You know what else I need? I need a new fucking computer. So over to the computer section, start looking. They're like, well, I got this one. And start going through it. I'm like, yep, throw it in there too. Why not? We're burning up our,
I get it.
So most of like the computer's a business expense. So that one was easy. The other two were not. So they had to, because it's funny to try and like explaining that to people because I was going over something, over a medical thing the other day. And I said, well, my businesses have money. I don't.
Truth.
And people don't, they just think that if your businesses are successful, you have all this money to burn.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. I don't take much of it. Like I take just enough to pay my bills. The rest of it goes to the business.
Yep.
The businesses, because I need to make sure that, I can cash flow things and do different things and be able to make all my, insurance payments. Because we talked a little bit about that earlier. But I, it's interesting to people that do not own their own business when people say, well, my business has money. I don't have any money. I have a little bit of savings, but that's not even crazy. Like it's barely enough. And
there's,
3 or 4 months, I'm going to be real hungry real fast.
When I went full time, I was just kind of like,
oh, you were scared shitless.
Oh, scared. Still am. I mean, the gig's got to keep coming through.
Right.
I got to make money. I got to keep making money.
Well, just don't suck and you should be okay.
Well, damn. Then there's always that, oh God, what happens if I lose my voice totally? What the hell do I do?
You get back in a FedEx truck.
Oh, I could. Do I want to?
No. But I know that we have some other friends with some other businesses that can always put you to work in it. And we talked about that, and because I know you and I had a lot of conversation about the whole self-employment thing because I was like, I've been self-employed since 2006.
Yeah.
So, for 16 years, if Tim don't produce, Tim don't eat.
Right.
And there was a pretty good, the learning curve was about 5 years for me. Just get going. And then Melanie had some health problems, which took her out from being employed.
Yep.
And then we lost all of her income.
Right.
And so that was in 2011. And so then that was a 2-year shift trying to recover all the money that she made that she's unable to do since she couldn't work. And, it took a few years for her nerves to get somewhat leveled out in her leg where she could function. And so like, it's just that cycle. Yeah. And then, going, I don't want to say I ever went bankrupt because I never filed bankruptcy, but I went broke. I went broke 1 year, just from a bad year. And after that, I was like, you know what? I have survived the peaks and I've survived the valleys. Yeah, we're good.
That's the way
we'll figure it out.
That's the way I was before. Right. So I did all that before I became a full-time musician. So I hope it's been a ride, and it's been fun. I've made more money in 1 month than I have in any month in 20 years at FedEx.
Right.
By all means. And then I've skimped by because I knew I could. That's and it's so easy on a Monday or Tuesday. Man, I got so much stuff to do, but it's so easy. I'm just going to lay in bed till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. But no, I dedicate myself every day now to, I write in the morning. When I drink coffee, I sit down and play guitar and I write, and new music's coming out all next year. And so we're kind of excited about that. And but you have to force yourself to do it. Because it's easy just to sit in your chair and watch TV and
be
say,
like, everything is good. Everything. I got bookings coming up.
Yeah.
And because I know when you went full time, you were like, I'm going to be able to write. And then like the first month, you were like just trying to adjust, and you're like, oh, I don't know. And then now you finally have gotten, once you get worked into a schedule, okay, I get up in the morning, I make my coffee, I grab my guitar, the house is quiet.
Yeah.
Tammy's headed off to work.
Yep.
And so it's just you and
shut it down, Tim.
You and the animals. And
yes.
So so that just it becomes your morning habit. And just like when I'd made you the coffee, right? And so back to the coffee thing, Tammy's jealous because Scott got the good coffee.
It was good too, honey.
So, but again, she can come over sometime. I told her she'd come over and make her coffee.
I told her we're going to come over. I said, we're going to come over and drink his coffee. That's what we're going to do.
I'll order more. But, it's just fun to have that routine, and because I'm not a morning person, and Melanie had a thing that she had to pick up from the hospital today, and they were like, well, it starts at 9 o'clock tonight, and this, and Mel just looked at her, and Mel goes, she goes, oh, the lady's like, well, I'm in bed at 9:30. Mel goes, we're not in bed before midnight, ever. No, I'm never in bed before midnight. It's midnight to 1 a.m. and before I go to sleep, and so I don't get up till 8.
That's the way I am too.
I don't get up till 8 in the morning, but then I get up, and I make my coffee, and I sit there. Like I told you, I sit in that where you were sitting. I sit there, I drink my coffee for 20 minutes in silence. Yep. I usually have I'll send out a morning Snapchat, and I usually have a magazine or a book or something sitting there that I'll just kind of browse through.
That's what it's your time.
Just enjoy kind of getting ready for the day type of thing. Like tomorrow, it'll be coffee and then off to build a fence outside, finish building the fence, and then the rest of the week I've got some video stuff that I need to get done. And,
but it's kind of like, well, tomorrow tomorrow, everything that I was going to do today, because I forgot I was actually going to give away that guitar.
Right.
And then it came up on my calendar on my phone, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do that 11:50 or whatever it is. And then Shannon couldn't come because of the weather. And then I was going to go run to the bank in Fort Dodge, but I didn't. So now I got to do all that tomorrow.
But you got coffee, you got a lunch out of it.
Oh, I'm not saying anything bad about it. We made
lunch. We made up some burgers.
It's been a great day.
You and I have not sat down together since we made the promo for Crash My Crater for last summer.
Was that the last time?
I think so.
No.
Tell me.
Besides work?
Work, like you have not been. You and I have not.
Well, no, you were busier than a jackrabbit this summer.
But I always have time.
See, this is where that little video came out.
This is one of the guys from the video.
I said, well, you're always busy, man. Well, that's a good thing because you are always busy. But weekdays are a lot more flexible. Like, so Saturday, I always tell people Saturdays are booked. Saturdays are weddings. If you don't want a wedding on a Saturday, don't call me. Right.
Sundays are typically seniors, especially senior sport people or families, and then I have the weekdays. Well, weekdays are seniors, families, whatever else in the evenings. But most of the time during the day, I'm open.
And construction.
Well, I do very little construction now, though.
Paul's been doing a lot.
So, but even Paul does his own stuff. We have very little construction stuff. And now I'm keeping all the tools because I'm always worried about the future. So I always make sure that I have a backup plan, right?
Right.
But, Scott's like, I go, why didn't you tell me about Sioux Central? Well, you're always busy. I'm like, but you have to ask me. Like, yeah, I can squeeze in a half an hour. Like as long as I'm in the same vicinity of the state, I can make it happen.
Right.
But and you're like,
and you do, and you're always.
But you weren't the only person. I had another one of my business clients.
But you have been busier than all get out. And I was just like, he's probably busy. I'm not even going to bother.
Just bother me.
You know,
and that's,
but
so, and
I understand.
I had made that. And then I had another one of my clients email me, and she was like, she goes, I just watched the video and I appreciate that, because I don't like, if she has a question about something, she goes, I don't like to ask because I think you're too busy. I'm like, I'm never too busy for my clients. I'm never too busy for a future client.
Right.
I'm never too busy if a friend has a question. You know, I don't always call back instantly. And sometimes it's days before a text message gets returned, because I will actually have time to sit down. But like, there is moments of my day where I have time and I just don't want to do anything like business wise. But years ago, or even last spring, so I had always said, and one of my friends, Angie, you know, she was always helping me with my business stuff. And I had always said, I'm a better mechanic than I am a business person, right? And she's always told me to get that out of my head.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, you need to work on your business, not in your business. So you need to delegate, and she was always really, really, really good about that. And so that seed got planted that I needed to stop the whole I'm a bad businessman. And I was going to bring that up because you're like, I'm just a musician. I'm not a businessman. Right. Well, so you kind of have to manifest what you want, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What you want to be. And I actually had somebody from Oregon that I was on the phone with about 2 weeks ago. And we were talking about flying out to Oregon and doing some stuff for them. And she told me again, you got to quit telling yourself that. First of all, don't ever tell a client you're a bad business person.
Yeah.
Or a potential client.
Right.
And she goes, you need to manifest what you want. So if you want to be a good business person, you tell yourself you are a good business person, and you figure it the fuck out.
Right.
You know, those are not the words that she said, but that's how Tim says it.
And I get it. And that's what I do. I get frustrated with myself sometimes, and I'm like, oh, come on, figure it out. And I'm not technically savvy. You know, like we were doing those Dropbox things. You're like, yeah, do this and this. And I'm like,
oh, dude, I struggle technologically a lot. We're old.
Right.
We're in our 40s. Well into our 40s.
You know, but I don't want people to think, I agree with you, though, about the whole going back, you know, where I said you're too busy. I'm sure people think that I'm too busy because I'm booked. Right. But don't ever not ask because.
Well, see, and that's the problem that I had, is that where people would not ask because, well, you were too busy or you looked really busy. I'm like, well, I'm really busy because there's 3 or 4 months a year that I'm not.
Yeah.
And so I need to pad my bank account so I can survive those months, you know, to make it back through till the season starts again. And the frustrating part was that I would have clients that wouldn't ask, and then they would have somebody else do something, which is fine. Like nobody owes me anything. Nobody is required to come to me for any photos or video or anything that I do. I never expect that. Right. I expect to earn everybody's business. But they would go to somebody else, and then they would see me, and I would say something. But, you know, it'd be like, they look really good. You guys look like you were having a good time. Yeah. You know, because they were. I mean, they picked a quality photographer, right? And, you know, they're like, well, I just knew you were really busy. I'm like, but you didn't ask. And like, just ask me.
Yeah.
Like, just ask. Like, it never hurts to ask. Now, I've had a few, like, for the last couple weeks, we had troubles getting some schedules organized because the weekend after Thanksgiving, I was trying to keep wide open. And I have one little shoot in there because I was just trying to keep it open. Like, I was just trying to keep one weekend where I did not have to do anything, because I would really like to get in a vehicle and go to Wyoming and go do some photography. You know, fast, cheap, in the truck, right? And so, you know, I had some scheduling issues, but we were able to get it all worked out because I have like 3 sessions on Sunday alone, and then one on Saturday. But it was the only time, you know, especially with kids now, you know, kids working, you know, trying to get, and there was 2 families, so trying to get everybody in 2 families together for family pictures. So it took about a handful of dates to get it figured out.
Yeah, we got to figure something out too.
Yeah. Tammy wants wintertime.
I know.
So that's wintertime out right now.
It is.
I told Mel, I said, it's really nice out. I should go to Emmitsburg and go lay in the field with the cows today and get some more of those Highland cows.
It would be kind of cool pictures.
But it's going to be too dark by the time that I get headed that way.
Snow will probably be gone already.
I don't know if it'll be gone, but it'll be better while it was snowing. Like when we were
Big
driving,
fat heavy flakes.
yeah, when we were driving to Spencer, I was like, man, this would be perfect
That
to
would
be
look cool
sitting
with
there
those cows.
right now. Because I have some images that I would like, you know, and because I've seen you've seen like the pictures of Yellowstone and stuff where the bison are just covered in the snow, and
Yeah.
like I want it. I'm hoping to create some of those where I get wildlife that are covered in snow and kind of that raw environment.
So you get ideas in your heads, and then you got to you're trying to create it.
I'm trying to get there. And my luck, I'm gonna get to the Tetons, and it's gonna be 80 degrees or something in December, right? But you know, and then I just do whatever. And
That's kind of neat, though, the way that you, as a photographer, you have a picture or an image in your mind.
but I can't explain it.
No, you can't explain it, but only you can
Right.
take that picture and make it and say this is exactly. So as a songwriter, it's kind of the same way too.
Right.
You know, like it wasn't long ago, I was in a FedEx truck and I was making a delivery of this old kind of beat up house out in the middle of nowhere. And here outside by the door sits these old Red Wing boots,
Yeah.
you know, where the tops are folded over and the laces are all, and I was just kind of like, man, imagine the story that those boots could tell.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, oh, well, that's a song right there. That's a country song right there.
Yeah.
You know, so that's all in the writing process. But you have an idea, and then so our jobs kind of go hand in hand in a way.
Well, you're creating.
Yeah, we're artists, and that's kind of what.
Yeah, you're creating.
That's neat
and
though to see.
It's and how each of us does it. Because I, you know, you'll send me snippets. You know, you'll play something, you'll send me a snippet. Jesse does the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I always laugh when I go to do like, especially your video, because you usually like just you tell me what you've listened to the song enough. Tell me what we're gonna do. And so then I'm like, well, it's hard to get out of my brain through my mouth, you know,
Yeah.
to explain what I need. And so that was when we started. Now it's easier. Okay, I need you here because we're going to do this, this, and this, and this to get this look.
Right.
You know, and that's one of those things where I have manifested or forced myself to write it, to you know, to either make the notes or be able to actually spit it out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. It's like you can have something in your brain and it's just hard as hell to come out of your
Right.
lips.
Well, like that's what I haven't talked to you about this yet, but I want to. So we're doing the 12 Days of Christmas for Broken Strings, right? I want to give away 12 guitars in 12 days, but I want to make a movie about it.
Right.
Right. And I haven't talked to you about it yet, but I have talked to Ober about it.
Yeah.
And all I can picture is Ober being the narrator, wearing like a robe and a hat and sitting back with a cigar and saying, well, on the first day of Christmas, everybody, you know, his deep voice.
Oh, man.
And we laughed so hard about that at the bar. Ober's like, oh, I'll have to think about that one. I was like, you know, you're going to do it.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, I probably would.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like,
that would be cool.
I'm like, that would be so cool.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. That popped into my head one day, and we were just sitting there at the bar, jam night in Barnum.
Yep.
And he's sitting right next to me, and he's having a whiskey, and all I can think in my head is, all I can see is in a robe, smoking a cigar, sipping on a whiskey, and reading the 12 Days of Christmas or something like that.
Just get him a big old pipe or something.
Yeah, he smokes pipe.
Does he?
Yeah, so it's one of those long angled ones. It'd be perfect.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
I mean, he'd have to have his bandana on. I know you're talking about a hat, but he'd have to have a bandana
leave
on.
the bandana.
He'd have to have the Ober bandana.
It would be kind of funny. We got to do that for sure.
Oh, that's too. Yeah, that would be funny.
It would be fun. It'd be a fun one to do.
Yeah.
You know, then we give away. It shows them where we're giving away, like 12 different guitars and stuff like that. It'd be great.
We might want to get to planning on that.
I know. I know. Yeah, I thought about that the other night. I was like, man, if we're gonna do that, we really did do that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and it's so funny to run out of time. It's not funny, but it's like, holy shit, how fast everything goes anymore.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, I got time to do that or plan that. And then all of a sudden it's, oh shit, it's 2 weeks away.
Where the hell did that go?
It's like I play in Lake of the Ozarks, Black Friday and Saturday at Tire Biters Peanut Pub. And I was just thinking the other day, shit, I better find a place to stay.
It's a week and a half away.
Yeah. So I better get on it, huh? You know, always got the van, I guess, but
Right.
I'm not sure Tammy wants to sleep in the van the whole time.
Well, She can find herself. Yeah, I was thinking about that yesterday because I have a Black Friday special I'm gonna put out, and I was like, oh yeah, I got time to put that together. I got time. I'm like, shit, I better get some stuff
Yeah, it's
together.
right around the corner, man.
You know, because it's a week away, a week and a half away, and I always look. That's because Mel was like, she's like, well, you can't book anything that Friday because what if we go Black Friday shopping? I go, I don't go Black Friday shopping. Like I don't. I did it once. I'm like you are welcome to go wherever you like to go. I don't want to. Like I went once just for entertainment value. Like I had nothing to buy.
Yeah, no.
Just to see what like, what the?
It's ridiculous.
Like the people. Also, like TJ Maxx opened yesterday in Spencer.
Oh.
So I have never seen that parking lot that jam packed.
No.
And Addison, 8:30 yesterday morning, she's like, I'm leaving. I'm going to TJ Maxx. I'm like, what? We're going for opening. And it opened at 8. There's a line out the door.
Really?
And when she checked out, the line was to the back of the store.
In
Spencer.
Huh.
So, and it's good to see, people in Spencer get excited about shopping. And there was people that, big support of it. Make sure you check out like JCPenney that has been there for decades.
Right.
That doesn't get the love because everybody leaves and goes somewhere else.
Is it still there, JCPenney?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's handy. I mean,
yeah.
It's just one of those things like people.
I wish Fort Dodge still had this stuff.
Well, yeah, but we're all as guilty as hell of going somewhere else or getting online.
Everybody's guilty of going online.
And order and everything. And unfortunately, that is kind of how the world has shifted is to the online stuff. Yep. So you make the online stuff easier for your clients, even in my sense. So there's a lot of photographers and videographers that they don't have it. They won't put any pricing or anything on their website. I'm like, well, you get online, it starts there because I don't want people to be like, well, it's a pain in the ass to find it, so I'm not going to deal with this person. No, this is where I start at, and so in that sense, it's going to be easier. So they already know how much it's going to cost, so it's easier to book. They can literally click,
that's the nice part,
request a book, right? So then I can approve it or deny it, and so shifting into that and. Even buying different products, and I still try to buy stuff that is as local as possible, although it's really hard. It's really.
Well, that's because there's
really
not much
hard.
around here anymore.
Well, even local businesses,
yeah.
Sometimes it is just really, really hard, and it is nice to go into local shops and stuff like that, but. For like you and I to go buy anything, like the women have a better option of like all these boutiques and everything else that they get to shop in.
Yeah, they don't make those for guys.
But they don't really make them for guys. So
I mean, we could.
I'm not going to do it.
I'm not either.
Right.
Well, they do make it for guys. Like
let me rephrase that. I don't want to make one yet.
Right.
I don't ever want to say never because 20 years ago or 15 years ago, I actually wanted to make an adrenaline shop. Call it an adrenaline shop. It has gear,
that'd
clothes,
be cool.
All kinds of different stuff. But then it would have stuff for dirt bikes.
I've always wanted to have a guitar shop. I mean, how cool would that be? But
you got to sell a lot of guitars because you got to pay the bills, to keep the lights on. Right. So like, there's that whole overhead thing. And I know I have 2 clients right now and friends that own boutiques. And there ain't nothing easy about any of it.
No,
and it's a lot of hours and it's a lot of cash
and
overhead.
I look like, there are shops like that for guys, but not. It's clothing stores like Wilkie in Carroll has got a great clothing store, Foley's clothing, but it's suits and nice attire, And
well, think about this: are you going to get together with your buddies and run to Carroll and go down to the shop? No. But girls do that. Women do that.
Right.
They'll go.
If I want something, I'm going to walk in there and I'm going to find it myself.
Okay. Yeah. Sir, can we help you? Nope, dude. You could be in the wrong section.
Yeah.
And know it, and you're like, nope. I know. I'm looking at this right here.
Yeah, this looks good.
Yeah. No, you could be going backwards down the wrong way, one-way alley. And be like, I got this. And that's the funny thing. So it's like, if there was an option, would you use it? I don't like maybe. Like it's stupid because so Spencer has Dunham's, which is the men's it's sporting goods store, right? So there's men and women's stuff there, and I buy some stuff there. I really like Shields. But I got to go to Sioux City.
I'm trying to dress more the part. I mean, because it's kind of like for the last 20 years, I had a uniform that I didn't have to worry about knowing the newest trends or anything like that that are out there,
So, as a guy, we are in a better place than the women are because good shoes, jeans, and a shirt
go a long way.
Go a long ways, and it always has, right? The women's styles are the ones that change so much, good or bad,
right.
With the mom jeans that are super popular.
Now bell bottoms are coming back out.
Bell bottoms are okay.
And they look great. Tammy's got a pair.
Bell bottoms are okay. It's
Yeah.
the mom jeans I don't like. But,
right.
And I give Melanie won't wear them. She doesn't wear them, but the kids will wear them, and I'll just look and I'll be like,
they go clear up to here. I mean, come on.
Who'd you borrow them from?
Right, Grandma.
Which grandma did you borrow them from?
Yeah.
And,
I've been looking for a cool hat. And
what kind of hat? Like a ball cap hat?
Kind of like cowboy. Not so much a cowboy hat, though, just a cool hat. And I looked in Nashville, and I found the exact one that I wanted. But it wasn't the color it was stupid ridiculous. But it wasn't the color that I wanted either.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I look good in a camouflage ball hat.
Yeah.
I like them.
Well, I said I have some T-shirts that are on the way. Hopefully they've been shipped. I haven't checked with Chuck. So, but because my biggest thing is that there's nothing cool for me as a photographer to wear.
Yep.
So I threw some designs on some stuff and I ordered some shirts and so I'm hoping that those get here sooner than later. And then I got another design that I just did and that'll be great on a shirt and it'll look good on a hat. Because I'm a big hat guy.
Yep, me too.
And so.
And I never used to be.
I've always loved hats.
Huh.
It's one of those and I don't know if it's because my dad always had a hat on, but I've always worn a hat. And so I wear hats all the time.
Well,
so I want to have, my biggest thing is that I like, there's certain brands that I really love for clothing.
Sure.
Hurley is one of them, for some reason, even though I'm not a surfer.
I don't make fat man sizes, though.
Oh, I'm a fat man and I fit into it, Scotty.
Yeah, but I'm a lot bigger than you are, Tim.
They probably do. Maybe you should surf more.
I don't know. You got to order it online.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. Thank you. Nope, not going to do it.
That's all right.
No, I do shop online, but more for not usually clothing.
Right.
More for music stuff.
Right. Well, and that's like the photography stuff. My photo and video stuff, there's nowhere to get it. So it all has to be online. So I take that back. There is places to get it, like Des Moines, which I bought some cameras and stuff.
Yeah, but then you got to
drive.
Or
in Omaha, where I bought cameras and stuff in Omaha. Or I just get online and I order it and it shows up in 2 days and I don't have to, because I know what I'm getting, And then if it's something that I know that I need to look at and I'm not 100% sure, I'll order it from another company that I know has a 30-day return.
Yep.
Because some of them don't have a return policy. And some of them do. So then I order from certain things because most of my stuff does not come from Amazon.
Right.
My photo video stuff, it comes like Zoom. Like this thing came directly from Zoom. These microphones, I did order the microphones inside here. I did order on Amazon.
Amazon or Sweetwater or whatever.
I've bought stuff. I bought a microphone from Sweetwater. My really good.
They take good care of you too. I actually like them. Yeah. Because they'll call you and they send you candy in the box and all that stuff. They take care of you like a store would. I
bought some stuff from a company in St. Louis, and it was a supplement exercise company. I bought some like protein powder and some different stuff, and it was when I'd done a caffeine reset. So it was like no caffeine for 6 weeks. And so I was doing some things, and this has been quite a few years ago. But what blew my mind was the handwritten note inside of it. Hey, I really hope these work for you. If you got any questions, feel free to reach out. And it wasn't like a printed handwritten note like some like insurance companies and stuff will do on their cards. It was
actually handwritten.
It was a handwritten note.
That's what I like about Sweetwater, because Sweetwater's, they'll package, and after you order, like John is my guy, right? Mm-hmm. He has been my guy for like 3 years now.
Right.
And he'll call you, hey, I just seen you made an order, Scott. I'll send that off to you. I'll send you an email as soon as it gets off, as soon as I ship it out tonight. And that way you got the tracking number and everything. And then when you get it, it's like a week later. Everything all right? They'll call you, hey, John, how are you? I got him programmed in my phone. Yeah. And he's like, hey, man, everything working out all right for you? That's pretty good customer.
That's called the pickle. That's the free pickle.
Yep.
And I had heard a story about that, and it was a guy that actually, and I'm going to end up screwing up how this story goes, but it was a guy that actually owned a business, and he had, I think he had went into one of his own, and they wouldn't give him the free pickle, and it pisses people off. They want some extra pickles.
Sure.
So his thing is always give them the pickle. Don't charge them for the pickle.
Right.
Give them the pickle, because a free slice of pickle
goes
a
a
whole long
way.
ways.
You bet it does.
Other than, well, I got to charge you 25 cents or $1 or whatever, and like, well, I went picked up Jim. Like, we shared a pickle today for lunch.
Yeah,
Scott,
we did.
And that was pickle.
Jimmy
It was
John's.
free from Jimmy John's yesterday when I picked up sandwiches for everybody. I had bought so much stuff, so I had a free chips, cookie, or pickle, and I'm trying, in my infinite wisdom and age, to not eat all the shit that I can. So I'm like, I will choose the pickle over the chips and the cookie,
hard, though.
right? So because I know that the pickle is better for my waistline. And now, especially because I'm not in busy season, so I'm less active. So
Right.
I really have to pay attention. But so Jimmy John's every so often it's a pickle, or it's an avocado dip. And I did laugh at the one guy because he was like, "You want the avocado dip?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, if I wanted the avocado, I'd order the sandwich with the avocado. I don't need the free avocado dip.
We're getting older. We just need to be healthier. That's what, you know what I mean? I think.
Right.
I hate to get onto that subject.
Oh,
but,
dude, that's a whole
but I'm
other
like,
thing.
when you do a full job, when you do a 2 hours, 2.5 hour set of music,
Yeah,
it's exhausting.
I do. People are amazed on the wedding days.
Oh, I'm sure. You're all over the
It's
place.
10 to 12 hours, and I average 14 to 16,000 steps on a regular wedding day without shit ton of activity.
Yeah.
And people then they're like, "How are you still moving?" I'm like, "I'd live for this shit, first of all. Second off, I'm going to hurt like a motherfucker.
Oh,
tomorrow."
yeah. Stiff.
Yep.
Yep.
But I usually have to get up, and it's always my feet. And
Mine too.
so I
And
try,
my
I
legs.
try to wear, that's why I used to always wear really nice shoes to weddings, because I have some really nice ones. I wore them the other night, my nice floor shine leather,
Sure.
and I love the shoes, but I can't wear them on a 12-hour day on concrete. I just can't do it. So
Oh.
I wear my old man cushy ons, and that just work because they have just enough padding to keep my fat heels from hitting the ground.
Now, Brett from El Rey's in Iowa City that I play a lot, he's the manager there, and he's on his feet all the time. And I told him, man, my legs are, last time I played there, I said, man, my legs are just sore from standing so long. And he goes, are you gelling? And I'm like, what are you, I'm like, what are you talking about? No. And he goes, you need to.
Gel and soles.
Go get some Dr. Scholl's, he says, is the best thing you could ever do for your legs.
Right.
And I haven't done it yet, but I'm seriously thinking about trying it.
Dude, they're like $10. Go buy some.
Yeah. They say it works. I'm going to try it.
I don't know. I'm just a big thing about good shoes, but
Well, I'm about boots now.
right, sealing that's a harder thing. But like my brother, I watched my brother Zach wear cowboy boots when we were building buildings. He'd climb up, he'd be on a steel roof in cowboy boots working, and I'm just like, I would eat shit. I would slide off and hit the ground.
And they say when your boots get broke in, they just mold your feet and they're great.
Dude, I've had the same pair of boots for a while, and I cannot wear them more than 8 hours.
Oh, right.
I got to be careful because, and I'm not exactly thin, so that doesn't
Me either,
That doesn't
but
help anything. So
I'll let you know if the gel it. Let you know if those work.
You're gonna
or not.
gel the boots?
I am going to. I'm going to try
that would be
it.
a whole nother thing. Well, so like that, like my bike right
Yeah.
there. Like, so I've been less disciplined about it. I'm trying to do it 30 minutes a day, not hard, just 30 minutes a day. Just get on there, put a YouTube video on.
Is that a Peloton?
It is not a Peloton.
Oh.
It is a Nautilus. So it's the cheaper little brother, a different brand. It's still got the screen and all that other stuff.
You have people yelling at you to tell you to keep going?
I don't.
Oh.
I don't even watch this. I used to watch the screen on it, and
You can just FaceTime me. I'll yell at you. Get on it.
Right.
Get on it. Get on it.
right. And so I've done some of the workouts with it, and it's intense. But right now, I'm just trying to make it do it towards that habit. So do it every day for 21 days, just to make
You have to
start
force
make it the
yourself to
habit.
do stuff. Yeah.
Right? And I've been off it for a week. And so
How do you feel?
I'm better when I'm on it.
All right. Do you drink much water?
Not enough.
I do not like water, and Tammy's trying to get me to drink more water. And I've started to drink more water, and I actually feel better because of it.
Right. Well, we always have, we have the fridge, the water fridge upstairs.
Yeah.
So the under counter one. And so that is always stocked with water. And so I don't drink like Melanie does. Melanie, that's all she drinks.
Isn't that a wine fridge, not a water fridge?
It's a water fridge. It's bought for water.
Oh.
It's a drink fridge.
Okay. All right.
It's
You
not
still
a wine
got
fridge.
young one at home yet. Wait till the kids are all gone. Then you'll be like, Oh no, this is my whiskey fridge. Leave it alone.
Whiskey doesn't need to be cold though.
I
I have the whiskey cabinet. It's the whiskey and coffee cabinet.
Don't we all?
I do. That's a Melanie. It drives Melanie nuts because it's the one cabinet that has glass in it.
Oh yeah.
And it's got all the whiskeys in it.
But it looks cool.
And then it's got all the coffees in it. And she's like, I really hate that. I go, what are you gonna put there? I go, give me one cabinet. I built this whole kitchen for you. Give me the damn cabinet, you know? And I'm like, you got everything you want in this kitchen, except you don't like what's in that cabinet. Tough shit. It's the smallest cabinet here. Let me put my whiskey and coffee in it. You know, it's the only thing that I want in here.
I get it.
You know, what's the song? Black coffee in the morning, brown whiskey in the evening.
Yes.
And I don't always drink whiskey. It's just, just depends on how hard I want to sleep.
I get it.
I drank the last few nights. I was like, you know what? I just feel like I'm dragging. I need a really good.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is where addiction becomes a problem.
It's not. But then I'll go nights with that when I don't have anything to do.
Yeah.
And that was like, there has been a history of addiction in my family. So I keep it in check.
Right.
I make sure that I don't drink every night.
Right.
And if I do, it's only in moderation.
Yeah, I don't usually drink every night, but my problem is when I do drink, I'm only going to get drunk.
Yeah, see, I drink just to relax. So, and I think part of it is because I had always told myself when I was younger that I'm not going to become that alcoholic. Because it wasn't just like, it is bloodline.
Oh yeah,
but there was a lot of people that grew up on a lot of hard times, and then that's just what they turned to. And like,
I think it's how you were raised too. Did your dad drink much? I mean,
so dad was a truck driver. So when he was trucking, there was no drinking.
Right.
But he sure as hell liked his whiskey.
Did he like his whiskey?
Oh yeah, yeah. He really liked his whiskey, and so there's times he'd get pretty schnockered.
Yeah.
But it wasn't all the time.
Dad was a banker 41 years. So Dad would come home every night after work and have a cocktail.
Right.
That was just the thing to do.
Right.
Right. I mean, for years. So he's 82 years old and he still has cocktails once in a while.
Right.
So
yeah, it was one of those things, like, it was, generations down the line.
Yep.
And so I always told myself, I'm not going to become that person that drinks all the time.
But the older we get.
Well, and I drink now more than I used to, but I still don't, like, I always do it in moderation.
Yeah.
Very rarely do I go and it's been a long time. And I think the last time the last time I drank too much was probably about 7 years ago. And I can remember it because I had a brand new bottle of moonshine. It was Tim Smith's Climax Moonshine.
Ooh.
Which is really, really, really good.
Okay.
It's also the last time that I have drank that. Because I drank them. Nobody would drink it. Everybody was scared of it.
But you did.
Everybody was scared of the moonshine. But I drank it. And I drank damn near the entire bottle. And then I drank some Jack Daniels. And then I drank some scotch. And
not a good idea.
I remember, and it was never to black out because it was over the course of the night. And I remember coming home that night, and I tucked Melanie into bed, and I laid on the couch, and I tried not to fall off the planet because it was spinning. And that was the last time. And that was, we were at a family celebration. It was one of those things where I knew that I had a driver, and we just tied it on. And I've never drank like that since. Right. I don't think I'd ever drinking like that before. But I still, I always tell people, I'm like, I like really good coffee and I like really good whiskey.
Yep.
Because I like to take, because I can taste how they made it, right? And there's,
sure,
like the
exactly.
S&B stuff. Like I really like, the stuff from the S&B because I had tried. I mean, I think I bought one of everything.
Well, and Sarah's fantastic anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys are great up there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do. I love their whiskey too. We've been trying a lot of higher end stuff. Yeah. Like all of a sudden I find a bottle of that Jack 27. I was like, hey man, let's just pick up a bottle of that for some odd reason. Right. And I don't like it. It's still sitting there. It's kind of like,
I'll take it.
No, I'm going to drink it. You can come over and have cocktails with me.
Right. Because I laughed because we, this summer, the whole wedding party night, we went to Sarah's.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so everybody was trying everything. And I walked out of there with 3 or 4 bottles. Yeah. We all went in for free tastings and we bought a shit ton of stuff in there.
Yeah. I love that. I love their whiskey, period. Even the Sir Winston is good. And You know, the peach and the apple.
I've never had I'm not an apple guy. So I have the peach because I like the peach once in a while. Private First Class is what we've always, I've got the signed bottle from her grandpa. And then I have the one in the cabinet, and I've bought it just to give to friends to try.
Yeah.
And the one guy, he's like, I didn't think it was going to be very good. Holy shit, that was good. And
Very smooth.
I think I had tried it at one of the Crash My Craters, and then I think you brought a bottle over one night or something.
Yeah.
When we were recording
I think we drank the whole damn thing
drank
too.
a lot of it, but and maybe that was, or was that when we were recording like a fireside video or something? It doesn't matter.
I don't remember.
No, the fireside video was that whiskey, that grain whiskey.
That was great.
That was so bad. That was so bad. I still have that bottle.
Can't believe you fed me that crap.
So the bottle before that was really good.
It changed between one bottle?
I guess. So the cool thing about that place is that they will take your corn and distill it into whiskey for you, right? So the bottle that I had before was pretty good. And it's an unfiltered
Different corn then maybe?
So, but it is a different corn, but it's essentially flavored ethanol is what it is,
Well,
which is what all whiskey
moonshine is. I mean, moonshine turns to whiskey.
But they also fast age it. So it's done with wood chips. And I think Sarah does some of that stuff too. But
yeah.
But theirs is consistent and smooth and
very good.
This one
Have you had their high end bourbon?
Which one?
I don't remember what it's called.
The aged one?
The one that they
the barrel aged one.
Yeah.
I just finished the bottle.
Fantastic. That's really
I'm on a
good.
wheat bottle right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I went and played in Templeton a couple of weeks ago, and I got some Templeton rye too.
Templeton rye is good.
Yeah, I got the good stuff.
No. The good stuff is the stuff they don't sell at the distillery.
I know.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
That is the good shit.
I got it. I have it.
It's the jar.
I have it in a jar, a mason jar.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've had some of that as well.
That's good.
So what's the rumor with that? So is that there's other people, like if you go to a certain place or location and you leave a bottle in like a $20 bill or whatever, like
leave
on
a
the
bottle and money,
and you when you come back it's full.
Yep,
and the money's gone.
That's what they say.
I've heard that.
Rumor has it there, and I think it's like a cemetery.
I've heard that because we had one bottle at one family get together, and it was unlabeled. She goes, "Well, it's Templeton rye," and I go, "Well, there's no label on it." She goes, "No, it's Templeton rye."
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and it doesn't taste the same, but it's really interesting to like the different brands, even Templeton. So like Templeton and their flavors, S&B and their flavors, Jack Daniel's, Makers, and because I like Makers too. So Makers was my grandpa's drink. My grandpa Cease's.
That's my brother-in-law's. Yeah.
So that's what Dad always told me. Makers was Grandpa Cease's, and then Dad was a Jim Beam fan. Jim Beam and then Jameson.
I like Jameson.
I like Jim Beam.
Do you?
I like Jim Beam.
I'm so used to Crown.
I don't like Crown.
You don't?
Nope. Huh. It's too white bread.
Well, yeah, it's
vanilla.
When we were in Mexico, I had to drink Jim Beam, which whatever, I drank Jim Beam the whole week we were there, whatever it was. But I did miss Crown compared to Jim Beam.
Crown
just smoother.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I've never been a Crown fan. Like everybody loves Crown, but I'm just like.
I guess if you're going to get schnockered and you have a plan just to get schnockered, it's going to be Crown Royal. And
I don't know. I kind of want my whiskey to taste like whiskey.
Yeah. Bourbon or whiskey?
Well,
because there is a difference.
No, bourbon, whiskey. So there's Kentucky bourbon and then there's Tennessee whiskey.
Right.
But they're both whiskeys.
And there's Canadian whiskey.
I'm not a Canadian.
Scotch is whiskey made in Scotland.
Right. And it's how, and
I'm not a huge Scotch fan at all. It's that burnt.
That peat moss.
Yes. Weedy.
I have a bottle of Scotch that I can't bring myself to finish.
Man, my parents and Dorothy and Lester Munson, they were this older couple, and Dorothy and Lester would sit outside, and she'd sit there on her rocking chair, and she'd flip her fly swatter around. They went to Florida all winter long, so they were only in Manson during summertime, and they would drink Scotch and waters all night long, and they just did it. That's just what they did.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and so anyway, we ended up just talking about whiskey.
Yes. Man, we could have a whole podcast just on whiskey itself.
Just start bringing it. So, and there's a lot of like TikToks and YouTubes and stuff that are based around food.
Free whiskey out of the deal.
Right.
Maybe we should do that.
So that you just do a trial, just lay them all out and taste them all.
Iowa Legendary Rye.
We could blind test it. I have had some of that.
That's fantastic.
That's pretty good too.
Very good.
So that was like that one was supposedly the original Templeton Rye.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
That was that is they are supposed to be using the original Templeton Rye recipe because there's another filmmaker in Iowa that did a thing where they unearthed something with Iowa Legendary Rye. There was like a video.
Oh, it was Elias Johnson from Manson.
Yeah.
He did the report.
Yeah.
So Grandpa said to him before he passed away, like, hey, the 1920s, I buried a bunch of whiskey down here, and it's still there, and you need to go dig it up.
Yeah.
And he passed away, and he's like, well, let's go look for it. And they kind of knew where maybe it could be, but they had like sonar dogs, and you know and sonar, and they found the still. They found old bottles from the 1920s full of whiskey yet. So now that they said they were going to do is they were going to extract the yeast out of that, and they could reproduce that
it with
yeast,
that yeast.
and then it's the exact recipe from 1920 something.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's crazy. That's kind of like this, like the San Francisco sourdough. They've been using the same starter for like 2 centuries.
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of cool when you can just take something and just make it last forever.
Yeah, that's pretty
neat.
That
way everything is the same.
I don't know if they ever found, because he said he had barrels of whiskey.
Well, there was, like, I remember seeing part of the video where they were, like, digging stuff up. Well, now I'm going to have to look.
Yeah. But white oak apparently doesn't disintegrate.
Okay, so.
Right?
Okay, so no, it doesn't. Okay, white oak is better. That's why they use it for barrels.
Correct.
And they don't use red oak because red oak is porous.
Right.
White oak is not. So you can blow, like you can take a stick of red oak and go underwater and blow, and you can have bubbles come out the other end of it.
Oh.
And white oak does not.
At all.
So, and yeah, I don't really know. I just know.
Well, apparently the whiskey barrels should still be there.
Right.
Right? They don't disintegrate in the ground or.
In the ground. So that's why, like, when wood rots, it's at ground level because it's where it gets wet and dry all the time. So that's where everything rots at. Like below the ground, it's usually pretty good.
Isn't that crazy to think, though? There could be 90-year-old barrels of rye whiskey there.
Right.
How much would that cost a bottle?
A lot. That's crazy.
Only the highest bidder in the country would do that one. It
probably tastes like shit. It's got dirt sucked into it or something.
I'd filter it, make it did. I'd try it.
Redistill it.
Would you try it?
They could. Oh, you're fucking right. I'd try it.
I was gonna say.
So, and that I think part of my fascination with whiskey, beer, or any creative project, whether it's music or photography, it's always the process of how everything's made.
Yeah.
So the process of whiskey and how they do it, the process of beer, the process of how you get a song from here through your mouth or through your hands to the guitar, photography, taking that concept and creating with it. And I think that's why I'm fascinated by a lot of that stuff. And it's probably why I was taking shit apart as a kid. I was always destructing. I was taking stuff apart because I was curious how things worked. And I remember just to drive my dad insane because I would take everything apart.
Right.
And I could not put it back together. Right. But I could sure take it apart.
Right. Yeah.
And
when you did figure out to put it back together.
You did figure out. Yeah. And now it's like I can take stuff apart and put it back together because and that I think that is one of the reasons that I have made a good photographer and videographer is because I understand the mechanics of everything, of what you need and what makes your brain agree with certain things, composition wise, lighting wise, all that other stuff. So, but yeah, it's the same thing. I think that's why some of us appreciate
it's kind of like
those
music.
things.
I mean, yeah, it's the same.
Because everything you have to create it. It's not just there and made.
Right. I talk to Peter Stockdale about this sometimes too, and it's kind of like. My voice sometimes to me I'm like I wish I could sing it like this,
right?
But other people are like, no, that's what makes it cool,
right?
And I'm like, really?
Because people know it's you,
yeah, right.
And and so like McKenna My daughter. So, her vision sucks, right?
Yep.
And she was getting a bridesmaid dress for a wedding coming up next summer. And she was in the Grand Bridal in Spencer. And one of my friends, my other photography buddies, Chris Baker, was up there doing something. And he was in the back talking. And McKenna's like, "Hey, Chris, is that you?" And McKenna's met Chris once.
Yeah.
And he was like, How did you know? She goes, "Well, I could hear your voice." And it sounded like Chris. She goes, "Now, I don't see real well, but I can hear." And so like I know
that
things,
senses have took over her.
The senses have taken over. So it's just like, it's similar, she can pick up on who it is by their voice. People know Scott by his voice. People know Tim by the look of his images.
Yeah.
Like, because I've had people, they're like, "I know it's yours before I know it's yours."
In a heartbeat. Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the idea. That's the branding of it, is that I'm able, because I remember when I started, I remember how bad my colors and color grading was. It was so bad, and I remember I had this phenomenal picture of McKenna, and no, it was Kylie. McKenna's was good, and I think I ended up making it black and white, but Kylie's was color. And I don't know, my white balance was way off, and it was a green. It was a good picture, right? But so over the time, is the key is developing your look, your sound, your brand. So Kirkhart has a sound to it. TFC Photo and Videos has a look to it.
It all comes with branding. Everything.
It's all branding. So like, I've always, I regretted the name TFC for a long time.
Really?
Yep. It was not my first choice. I basically got talked out of going a different direction with my name on my business, because I didn't want my name.
You wanted something. What was that?
TFC Foxtography, or it wasn't TFC. It was Foxtography. Okay, last name Fox, right? So it was Foxtography Productions or some shit, right? Whatever, and I kind of got talked out of it, and everybody's like, "Well, use your name." And I'm like, "Well, my last name is Fuchs." And the one thing I learned from high-end clientele is that they don't want a person they're doing business with a name that is almost Fucks.
Right.
So I had shifted my construction business from Tim Fox Construction to TFC Builders, which is basically Tim Fox Construction with the builders put at the end.
Sure.
So TFC. And then when I got going, and I was like, "Oh, I should do this. Well, you should use your name. I don't want to use my name."
I get it.
And so it was just working into that. And then I just, one day I just went TFC Photography, and then we'll just switch the TFC part instead of Tim Fox Construction. Now Tim Fox has companies. So it's Tim Fox Companies, photography and video, or in film.
I wanted to move everything over to Kirkhart.
Right.
But what was it? The website I wanted Kirkhart.com.
$19,000.
Yeah. What? It's my last name. Why do I got to pay $19,000 for it?
I think I offered them $300 for it.
Did you?
Yeah, they said no.
No.
So
Jack
we still
wagons.
own ScottKirkhart.com.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, I bought it like a year ago.
Oh, hell. Well, then we need to do something with that. Get that done.
Yeah, I bought it. I still own it.
There's a lot of stuff. I need to make more. We were talking about that. I need to make more videos of me at home. And I have time to do this now. I'm just not technologically. I mean, I am.
Well,
I'm okay.
So here's what we do is that we take like this setup here. This is not expensive. This setup is not expensive.
Okay.
So you take it and you set it up, because I know you have a room in your basement for it.
Yeah.
Because we talked about this. So you set it up where you come in, you sit down, you turn your lights on, you take one camera or your cell phone.
Yeah.
And you set it up on a tripod.
And just play.
And so then you can either, because there's different ways that we can take an audio interface and plug it directly into your phone to record, or you can do it into this, and you have the computer.
Sure.
That you can just sync the two up, and then you cut.
You just lost me there. That's where I'm
You can figure it out.
I know. I need to sit down and do it.
Owen ain't far away. Owen can figure it out.
Yeah, that's the problem. He could in a heartbeat.
So you pay him to do it. Oh, and I'll give you $20. Come over. You got to sync this up and cut it for me.
Yeah, he would. He would too. I got to get him more involved in that stuff too.
Because it's the music side of things, which he's very involved in.
Yep.
And I think he would be more than happy to help, especially if you paid him. So
yep, he wants that gas money now, right?
He needs
yeah.
that gas money.
Yeah.
So well, we will have to work on that and see how that goes. In the meantime, it has been we're at about an hour and a half. So
Wow,
yeah,
already?
An hour and a half video takes me 3 hours to edit. So
I'm glad you got to edit.
I know. I still have the one from Jason the other day to edit too. So that one will be out first, and then this one will be out second.
Well, it's been a blast, man. Thanks for having
good.
me.
But we're gonna have to get you moving because you have to go to Lakeview yet, don't you?
Well, I mean, I don't have to, but yes, I think I'm going
I think
to.
I'm not gonna piss Tammy.
I don't have to do anything if I don't want to.
I'm not gonna piss Tammy.
No, that is correct. I gotta do that to be there. We're gonna go see Jennifer and Sam. They're gonna decorate for something. I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
We should send we should send Tammy a Snapchat. I'm gonna say that I'm keeping him forever. Hey Tammy, Scott says he's supposed to go.
Yep.
I think we're just gonna stay here and get drunk.
We could.
Scott says he's supposed.
Right there. Here we go. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
No, we're not gonna sit here and get drunk. I got too much shit to do. plus, I don't sit around to get drunk.
It would be fun though, right?
No.
But if we're gonna do that, it needs to be around a bonfire somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere where it's
warm.
It's actually warm. So
Wouldn't that be great? Warmth.
And McKenna just sent me a thing. You might like this guy's music.
What?
She's not talking about you. I don't even know who it is.
What's the name?
Joker. It's by a guy named Dax.
Never heard of him.
I'll check it out. If my daughter says it, she probably knows it. She knows me well enough. So, because it's funny, because I go from rap to country.
Well, hey man, we all do.
I mean, and it kind of drives some people nuts. They're like, "What do you listen to?" I go, "Everything." Dude, I'll listen to classical. Like I don't really care. It just depends on. I listen to everything, and I love. So it's funny because I grew up loving rap. You know.
You grew
I grew up in Central Phoenix. Yeah, I grew up during Two Live Crew, NWA.
Yeah, Snoop
all
Dogg,
that,
Dr. Dre.
Yeah, so like all
Tupac.
of that is just ingrained.
And I still like
into
listening
my
to
head.
that stuff.
Yeah, I love listening to it.
Especially Tupac and Snoop Dogg.
See, and the funny thing is like when people do like the hip hop type stuff or like country rap mixes, it's like, oh my god, this is
I like
music.
it.
And I'm like, dude, I love it.
I actually working with a guy, Jay Price. Well, we want to collaborate.
Yeah.
And he's a rapper artist, and I was like, you want to get together and do something? I said, that'd be kind of cool. You throw a couple verses in there and I'll sing a chorus, or something like that.
Well, it's fun to, look at Jesse with River Road.
Yeah.
I mean, that worked out really well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was good.
Yeah,
it was
very good.
I loved it. Plus you had two local Fort Dodge guys doing it.
Yep. Something to collaborate with. I mean, you always got to be creative and you always got to do new things. So it's just,
some of the best songs, I mean, the best songs are when, you got two different types of musicians.
Yeah.
Like Jordan Davis did with Buy Dirt, you
Yeah.
know, and it wasn't my favorite.
You see, he won.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
The cool thing is like the thing, and I get super excited about it. So I have photographed Jordan 3 or 4 times.
I've opened for him.
And you've opened.
Yeah.
That was when we met.
Yeah.
We met.
Remember that?
When Jordan Davis played at Lake Creek Country Club in Storm Lake.
I
That was
opened
basically
for him.
when you and I met, and you opened for him, and then you and I went to Ross Ellis and Drew Baldridge.
I opened there too.
Yep. We went to that one together.
And then Ross Ellis and Mitchell Tenpenny at the. Remember that?
Yeah, I got to the fairgrounds right before Mitchell Tenpenny started because I was at a wedding.
Yep.
I remember I was at John and Bree
Wasn't that did Jason photographer?
Jason was photographing.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, he got there, and that was one of the. I think it was one of the first times that we photographed
That
together.
was the day I met Tammy. I remember she was this curly haired looking, beautiful smile. And I looked down in the front row and I was like, who's that? Yeah, and I found her on Facebook a couple days later.
Creep.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that's how it happened.
Dude, it's really funny looking back, and like Jordan had gotten me into the Hard Rock to photograph.
Yeah.
Him there.
And what a nice guy.
He's a nice.
Oh.
So when the very last Creek Fest that they had, so it was what 2018, 2019, 2018.
Well, it's been a while. 18, I think.
I think it was 18 because we were the photographer. We photographed a lot of it, and a ton of the images never went out because they closed. They were done after that.
Did you photograph Lainey Wilson when she was there?
I did not photograph all of them. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look because I don't even remember.
Because if you got Lainey Wilson, look at what she's doing now. She just won singer, the female.
I'm gonna have to look because I know there was some, but I didn't do all of the shows because I had some weddings and stuff in there. But I remember the day Jordan played, and so it was Jeremy Riesenberg and Melanie and I and Jordan Davis behind his tour bus, sitting in some lawn chairs. Jordan was like fixing a charcoal grill in his basketball shorts, and we were just shooting the shit. Like, this the coolest, and I remember a few. I'm gonna have to dig up the images now.
And you look at it now. Look at him. It's just like, wow.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Well, like between like Matt Fisher and Riesenberg, like the artists that they got to go to Storm Lake, and now where they're at is insane.
And people didn't. I mean,
they didn't appreciate it when they were there because they didn't know, because they had what? So there's Jimmy Allen, Jordan Davis,
Lainey Wilson, Mitchell Tenpenny, Ross Ellis. They're all signed now.
Yeah.
I mean, Lainey Wilson just won 3 CMAs.
I'm gonna have to look and see what I have now.
I mean, think about that. That we've seen Lainey Wilson play in Storm Lake, Iowa, who just did a duet that hit #1 with our favorite artist, Hardy.
Yeah.
That's just crazy to think.
What do you think of the new Jack song?
The which one?
Jack.
I like it a lot.
There was a lot of people there like they're screaming it out. I'm like, that is fucking dope.
It's Hardy.
I love
like
that.
Sold Out. When Sold Out came out, people were like, oh. And I'm like, that is sweet.
I loved it. It's the mixture of rock and country.
And he's putting that he's
gonna have a whole album.
He's pushing that threshold, right? Yeah. I mean, and that's what he's doing. Yeah, he's coming out with a rock album.
Yeah.
Is he gonna call it rock or is he gonna call it country? Or is it gonna be both?
It's gonna be a crock.
Because it's
gonna be a
crack.
Country rock. I don't know. All I know is I like it.
I like the new music that's coming out. Some of these writers that are coming out now, just like Ernest, that whole group of people, they're really good friends. Like Morgan Wallen, Ernest, Hardy, CJ Solar was part of that. Jameson Rogers, there's another one.
CJ Solar was good too.
CJ Solar was fantastic. In fact, I just messaged him the other day. I see he's coming to Iowa City January 21st. And I said, hey, man, you looking for an opener, dude? I play there a lot. I don't know if you guys are, because I talked to Brett. And he actually messaged me right back. He's like, hey, man, I don't know what my agent's going to do, but if we need one, I'll get a hold of you first. Tell him that you're our buddy and we're going to go.
Yeah.
And I was like, sweet. Yeah, that'd be cool. Be cool to hang out with him again.
Yeah.
But
that shiny-ass beard of his. Nice
right?
hair.
And his hair and a hat.
Yeah, that hat.
And he was good. He's killer.
He's good, yeah. He's written, I don't know how many #1 songs.
Oh, lots. He's just, his music is just, some of those writers, they don't even get to you don't even know that they wrote the song. Like the guy that writers around me, Jonathan Singleton, I think. And Diamond Rings and Old Bar Stools. Diamond Rings and Old Bar. He wrote that song. I'm just sitting outside watching airplanes. He wrote that song.
That's a great
And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Right.
That's sweet. I mean, some of the best country music ever written, like Diamond Rings and Old Bar Stools. Mm-hmm. That's a cool song.
Yeah.
How do you come up with that? And it's just, you just got to put it out. And like I said, I told Mel, I said, I got about 300 songs started here and I got to get them together, right?
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Well, we got to get your whole album recorded so we can put out the LP.
Yeah. Let's start with an EP first.
I don't know the difference.
And an EP is an extended play.
Okay.
And I don't know what the LP is. Longer play?
Longer play? I don't know. Get something.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Get to rolling. But anyway, well, we will we'll cut this one at an hour and a half. But Scott, I really appreciate you being on here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to got the 2023 and then what else we got going on this year, and
hopefully let's pray it's going to be a great year for both of us. And right.
Cheers to the empty bubblers. Anyway, I am Tim.
I'm Scott.
And that is off. So we're out here.
Bye.
And we're out here.